There are many ways to invest in real estate that allow you to create passive income streams and build equity as you go. One of them is the BRRRR method of real estate investing. The BRRRR method is a great way for real estate investors to build passive income if they are willing and able to put in the work. With the BRRRR method, you can recover the largest of your capital out of a project as possible. Those wondering how to build wealth in real estate should consider this unique framework, representing a hybrid between active and passive income. Welcome to the From Zero to Wealth channel. If you're new here, this channel provides you easy to understand information about wealth creation through personal finance and investing, teaching you what schools should have. And if you are returning, welcome back. In this video, we'll be looking at what BRRRR method is, how it works, the pros and the cons, and who should use the BRRRR method. The BRRRR method stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat, and describes a strategy and framework used by investors who wish to build passive income over time. This acronym represents steps that should be implemented in the exact order they appear. So first, an investor purchases a property, they proceed to rehab. The newly renovated property is then rented out to tenants for an extended period, through which the rental income can enable the owner to pay the mortgage, earn profits, and build up equity over time. Once a sizable amount of equity in the property is built up, the investor can then purchase a second property by refinancing the first. The BRRRR method involves 3 steps: brainstorming, researching, and reselling. By brainstorming ideas for potential properties to invest in, investors can gain an understanding of the market and find undervalued properties. Once researched, investors can determine whether or not the property is worth purchasing and make the necessary repairs or upgrades. Finally, once purchased and renovated, the property can be resold at a profit. It's not an easy process since you will need to be familiar with rental housing in your area, as well as the cost associated with a proper rehab. When you buy a property, fix it up, improve its value, and then refinance, you are borrowing against the value of the property at its highest. Done correctly, this allows you to recover more of, or sometimes all of, the money you have invested in the property. The first step to BRRRR is to buy a property. But not just any property. The focus is on investing in distressed properties in need of updates and repairs. When searching through listings, keep in mind that this phase serves as the critical point and determines the investment outcome. This will require an intensive deal analysis, which includes calculating the cost of renovations, estimating monthly rental expenses, and confirming that the result rental income will provide a sufficient profit margin. Many investors rely on the 70% rule, which estimates the cost of repairs and after repair value, ARV, which helps to determine a maximum offer to be made on a property. ARV is the estimated value of the home after you renovate or rehab the property. To determine ARV, you compare the planned final result of the home to similar homes that have recently sold in the area. Using this rule of thumb, they can better ensure that a profit margin will remain after renovating a property. When you rehab a home, landlords must identify how to make their rental properties livable and functional. This stage of your process is all about making it livable and at the same time increasing the value of your home by making improvements to the home. These may include updating the kitchen and bathrooms, installing energy-efficient windows, appliances, and other features. On the other hand, investors must be careful not to make any excessive upgrades that will cost more than what can be produced through rental income. Here are a few rehab projects with high ROI, return on investment, to look out for. Roof repairs. It is common for appraisers to return the money you spent in property value when adding a new roof. Updated kitchen. Outdated kitchens are often unappealing, but many of its features may still be usable. Rehabbing a house with a kitchen in one of these states has proven to have a high ROI. Drywall repair. Drywall damage also makes a house ineligible for financing. While this may be a red flag for most home buyers, this can be an opportunity for rehabbers as drywall is actually very inexpensive to repair. Updating bathrooms. Bathrooms are usually not very large and their material and labor costs are inexpensive. Updating bathrooms will allow your home to compete with higher quality homes in the area for little cost to you. Additional bedrooms. Homes with an exceptional amount of square feet but lack enough bedrooms offer rehabbers an opportunity to increase value at little cost to them. Increasing a home's bedroom total to 3 or 4 will allow it to be more competitive with higher-end properties in the area. Once the rehab phase is complete, you can then execute the rental phase of the process. This might entail screening and selecting tenants, managing turnover, and responding to maintenance and repair requests. Once your property has been effectively rehabbed and rented, you can start devising a plan on how to refinance it. Some banks will offer a cash-out refinance, while others will only offer to pay off outstanding debt. You will want to select the former of these two options. You will also want to know the required seasoning period, which indicates how long you must own a property before the lender considers refinancing against the appraised value of the property. Finally, the investor can use the cash-out refinance from the first rental property to fund the acquisition and rehabilitation of the second property. A cash-out refinance offers additional advantages, such as interest rates that are often favorable compared to other sources of capital, tax benefits, and having control over your financial timeline. Let's look at an example of the BRRRR real estate strategy, which can help you illustrate how to accomplish each step. Sam lives in Austin, Texas, and is interested in purchasing a house to capitalize on his emerging rental market. He finds a property for $200,000 and runs the numbers on the deal. Sam can make a down payment of $40,000 and take out a loan for the remaining $160,000. After walking through the house with a contractor, Sam decides to spend $10,000 rehabbing the property. After the renovations are complete, the property is appraised at $250,000 and Sam can rent it for $2,500 a month. About a year down the line, Sam refinances and takes out a loan for 75% of the appraised value, which is $187,500. He then uses this amount to pay off the original loan of $160,000, leaving him with $27,500 to purchase and rehab another property. Any investing strategy will promise certain advantages while bearing some level of risk, and the BRRRR method is no exception. The pros of the BRRRR method is 1. Potential for returns. One of the main benefits is the possibility of a high return on investment. When done right, investors can purchase a distressed property for a relatively low cash investment, fix it up and rent it out for a strong cash flow. 2. Building equity. One should also account for the amount of equity that is built up during the rehab phase. When purchasing a passive income strategy, many investors are merely creating cash flow off a property worth the price it was bought for. The cons are 1. Expensive loans. When opting to use a short-term or hard money loan to finance the purchase of a property, investors can find themselves over-leveraged, especially during the rehabilitation phase. Investors should make sure they know how they will make mortgage payments during the time that the property is not producing any income. 2. Rehabilitation. Taking on a large rehabilitation project can prove to be expensive, with many headaches along the way. Rehabbing means dealing with project timelines, managing contractors and subcontractors, and dealing with unexpected issues. Make sure that you have the right resources and contingency plans in place before tackling a project. 3. Waiting period. BRRRR is a strategy associated with a longer time horizon, which includes at least 2 waiting periods. The first is during the rehab phase, where the investor must improve a property before they can place tenants and start earning income. The second waiting period is seasoning, a term that describes the period an investor must wait before a lender allows a cash-out refinance. 4. Appraisal risk. There's always a risk that the property will not be appraised for as much as expected. That is why it is so important to calculate your numbers correctly in advance. Note that these points are not necessarily cons or disadvantages. Rather, they warn you of what can happen if you are not careful. No investment comes without risk. The BRRRR method is perfect for investors interested in building a passive income portfolio from start to finish. The process is more demanding than purchasing a turnkey rental unit, though it can be highly rewarding. One of the biggest determinants in deciding if the BRRRR method will be the right fit is whether or not you are willing to take on a rehab project. Arguably, this is the most intensive step required, and those without the time or dedication required to see a renovation through will not find success. To those who are intimidated at the thought of managing a rehab but still want to implement the BRRRR strategy, I recommend having a real estate team. For example, having a business partner who is willing to be more hands-on if you provide the capital. If this video helped you out in any way, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos if you haven't already. Oh, and don't forget to turn your bell notification on to get notified for new videos that are up. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in our next video.